Coach, before we take a look at the on-the-water stuff, let's start with last week's academic awards banquet. You had 50 athletes who were honored, two of them achieving the highest honors. You just talk a little bit about what that means to you as a coach.
Well, that's why they're here, is to get an education, to do well in school, and to move on after they graduate and do great things. And so certainly their academics is the most important aspect of their college experience. And to have 50 athletes at that awards banquet is great. I mean, it's awesome. And I think that it's just part of the culture of our program that we have good students, kids that really take academics seriously, and so it's nice that our department honors that, and it was a great banquet, and I was really happy with with that kind of achievement for our team.
Now, also at that banquet, your team was honored. The Rachel Townsend Community Service Award. You guys logged over 1,600 hours as a team, raised $5,600 for Mock Rock. And obviously, giving back is something that you preach to your team. Just describe a little bit about how important that is. That award is.
It was a goal of our team. I mean, it's something that was really driven by the athletes. Something that the coaches talked about this summer, and I talked to one of our athletes over the summer, and Ariel Piotr, one of our seniors, and I said, I think this is an award that we can win, and she said absolutely, and next thing I knew, we had 4 or 5 kids on the team that appointed themselves the community service, sort of the head of the community service, and they just ran with it. I mean, I did very little, the coaches did very little. We supported it, but other than that, it was totally came from the team, and they take great pride in their, how they support the community. And I think this year they took it to a new level. And it's interesting how the competition, obviously we don't do, our team doesn't do it to win an award. They do it because they love to give back, and it's a great thing to do. And it's the right thing to do. But the award helped. I mean, that competition, I think made it more present and got more of the team involved than maybe it has been in the past, and so it was really cool. And winning the award is great, but the main thing is I'm just really proud of how much service that they've done this year.
Moving on to racing here, you guys have another sweep of your varsity 8 boats last weekend. Wins coming over another pair of ranked opponents in Michigan State and Yale. What stood out to you from a team standpoint and any individual performances from last weekend?
Well, I thought that our varsity 4, even though they didn't sweep, they lost to Yale, showed tremendous improvement from the first week, and I think they're going to improve more next week. I think that boat is just starting to get formed and just starting to come into its own, and so I was pleased with that. And then I thought the varsity 8 and the second varsity 8 had great races, and I think as far as individuals, this is a hard sport to pick out individuals because it's such everybody's doing the same thing, and it's a collective effort. But I think with the varsity 8, our stern pair is a big reason why that boat is going well. Melissa Ongen is our stroke seed, Julia Darden's our 7th seed, and they've both been in the varsity 8 for a couple of years now, and they just drive the boat, they create a rhythm, and I think that they set a tone. And we've got 6 kids behind them that are willing and able to follow them well, and so that's a big reason why that boat's moving well.
Sticking with last weekend, last time we spoke you mentioned that you guys hadn't beaten Michigan State in a dual race in a little while. I know you don't put too much stock into a win over one opponent, but just give us a little insight into the team's reaction after that win. And do you think that may have helped fuel them for the afternoon races against Yale?
Well, the first thing that everybody in our program knows and understands is that you may beat a team in second race of the year. That doesn't mean that you're going to beat them all year long. And Michigan State's a great program; they're going to come back strong. And Yale's a great program; they're going to come back strong. I think if you talk to their coaches, they'd probably say they didn't have their best races. And I'm sure that they will improve a great deal. And so every time you line up, anytime we line up, we expect to win, we want to win. And so we were pleased be able to win against two really good programs. But the reaction is pleased with the win, and then let's move on and get better, because they're going to get better.
Now, I mean, you guys have had a pretty good start here this year. You're ranked number 2 in the latest polls. Your first varsity 8, second varsity 8, second varsity 4 are all unbeaten, all against pretty highly ranked teams. Today, your first varsity 8's named Big Ten Boat of the Week for their performance last weekend. What's your message to your team during the week to make sure there's no complacency?
We're not there yet, is the message. I mean, the great thing, that I think every sport does these days is watching video. And, I've had 5 or 6 kids in today watching video. I had 5 or 6 yesterday, and you can see the mistakes. And it's clear that while we're winning races, we have huge room for improvement. And so, just every day improving and keeping things focused. And I think if we do that, then we're going to keep getting faster, and we have a lot of room for growth in all our boats.
Let's take a look at this upcoming weekend in Iowa City. You guys take on Iowa and Louisville. What can you tell us about those two teams?
Both really good programs, really well coached. Mandy Cole's been at Iowa for, about maybe 15, 16 years, something like that. And she's a really outstanding coach. Her crews are they're going to be fast, and they're going to race well. And Louisville is a program that has really come on in the last 8 years or so, and they seem to always be fast, and especially in their varsity 8. And so we're looking forward to the challenge.
And finally, I mean, is it safe to assume that we can expect a pretty similar lineup for this weekend? Or
yeah, we're not changing the lineups in any of the varsity events. The one change is we will be sending a 4th varsity 8 to this race, and we have this year the biggest squad we've ever had. We have 5.5 8s on the varsity team, and so we're going to travel some more kids and get some more people some races. Last week we took 3 4s, and so this week we're going to take the 2 4s plus another 8, so we get 4 more people a race.
Coach, thanks for your time. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.